Welcome to Racially Spicy Professor Sky. Hello, this is Yamari. I'm Brazilian. I'm a music producer. You may know me for songs like this one too. I have a lot of albums. Those were a few joke songs. I have like a trilogy of albums, Crimson Trilogy. Some people like them a lot. Some people like them a little bit. You can listen to that. I like them. They are called experimental hip hop by a lot of people, but there's a lot of like underground subgenres going on there. But anyway, today we're going to talk about funk music, not funk. I will get my phone because I have some notes. Well, funk music is a Brazilian genre of music that originated in Rio de Janeiro, heavily inspired by Miami bass. You can see where that is going if you already know the story of funk. I'm making the overpronunciation to, kind of help people who are still confused what the two things mean. So let's start by the story of Miami bass. Miami bass started in the United States, party music, very controversial, helped start the parent, that little sticker you see on a lot of rap albums, that one, the racist sticker. You see on like records of explicit content, the parental advisory sticker helped start that. They got arrested for the music for being too obscene. Some guy in Brazil, I don't know who it is. I'm not knowledgeable of that. All my knowledge comes from being in Rio de Janeiro, being from a favela, and knowing some kids that were funk nerds. Funk nerds. So, well, this video is called Stop Calling It Funk. Why? Funk is a genre of music originally started by SGP, heavily inspired by DJ Screw, Chopped and Screwed, psychedelic, lean sipping Houston sound, and Memphis rap. These two mixed up, listen to Blackland Radio and you see what I mean. What is funk? What is funk? That's funk. And then it kind of evolved because of like people like DJ Smokey. It started transforming more and more and more until like TikTok people heard one fucking Tommy Wright the Third song for the first time and they said, "This is hard. Let me make this song with cowbells." And then things started derailing from there. Uh, it spawned a genre called drift funk. There's a lot of funk genres out there. If you want a comprehensive guide on both funk and funk, go to Rate Your Music. I know, terrible site. They banned me. Please unban me. Please. But like, it's the best site to like know about genres of music, umbrellas, scenes, and it's just very comprehensive. It's kind of like the bread. Let's not talk about the fucking bread clip site because it's gonna fry my fucking autistic brain to a crisp. But anyway, funk music started in Brazil because some guys started listening to Miami bass, started bumping that on parties, and like some people, they were like, "We want to make this type of music." Fucking hell! Rotate device back. No, don't film my books. Here. Well, my phone ran out of storage. You guys like this? Professor Sky got like philosophy books. I got fucking Azumanga Daioh. You're just like me for real. Fucking YouTube. Let me. Okay, this video is gonna be vertical. Right? No. Okay, now the sun is blaring out behind me. But well, some guy brought, I don't know who, probably went to the United States, found out about Two Live Crew, found out about Miami bass music, brought it to Brazil, started playing at parties with DJ sets and stuff, started making some crazy shit, and then people started asking like, "Oh, this music is awesome. Why I want to start making this type of music?" But I don't know what the lyrics mean. And probably the guy that knew a little bit of English, they said, "Oh, it's all about guns and fucking." Seed is planted for the funk lyricism. And well, it started there. Original funk, like very old, music, very old funk music, you can find. My recommendation is Furacão 2000, or 3000, 3000 ou 2000, I don't know. Well, listen to that and you see like around how the sound kind of started. That was the mainstream sound. And that wasn't the super explicit stuff, but that was already controversial. Well, funk was always controversial in Brazil. A lot of like elitist people would not call it music. Some elitist rap fans, because rap is huge in Brazil, like I mentioned MC the Rincon Sapiens. New, sorry, I'm not super tapped in with the the Brazilian hip hop scene. Racionais MC. Um, and then there was one that made. Sorry, I'm really sorry. I'm just gonna flash a bunch of albums so you know I'm aware. Listen to these; they're really good. They're like mostly conscious hip hop. A lot of Brazilian hip hop from that era was like conscious hip hop. Do I look too ridiculous with the hat? I don't know. Well, anyway, so well in journalism, funk was seen as like this three-headed beast. It was like it's music made by these kids that are doing drugs and shooting people, robbing their purses, and it's about that, and it's super violent and super horrible, and the people who listen to this are criminals. And well, there were some arrestings on baile funks. Let me explain what a baile funk is. A, baile funky. Baile funk. 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 Okay. Baile funk is well, a party where people basically just vibe and dance and throw it back to the beats. It's a party, but it's in a favela. Usually, it is loud and is within a neighborhood or a house. It is a function basically, and well, there were a lot of noise complaints about stuff. But then there was a lot of complaints about the lyrics. Then there was about a lot of complaints about MCs and their actions and their criminal lives. A lot of fucking controversy. Like Brazil is not super keen with funk. It's been an embrace that has been very recent, where it's kind of being commodified and people like from São Paulo started making it, and like I would say like around 2016 was when it started getting really big. And like you have all these umbrella terms and all these scenes going on with funk music. The more commodified sound, the vevel of funk music, you could say, is the channel Conzilla. If you go there, you see a lot of like classic stuff that people played in the favelas and we listened to. I wasn't. Let me just say this: I am not a huge funk nerd. I had friends that were huge funk nerds, and my cousin was a huge funk nerd. So it is kind of in there with me. So I need to inform, you know. But yeah, go to Conzilla. That is kind of like the mainstream of funk, and that channel eventually they switched to trap. A lot of MCs got tired of funk and they switched to like this melodic Travis Scott inspired trap sound. Not a huge fan of that, but because there's such an excess of it. But yeah, that's basically it with funk. It originated in, well, here's the thing. People say you can't call it funk, you need to call it funk because it's different from funk originally. Well, let me tell you, brother. Let me tell you a little story about trap. Well, there is this guy called Hudson Moonhawk. Then there is this guy called Flume. Then there is like all these. I'm sorry, I'm not super fucking. I don't know about the whole thing. I'm Professor Sky, remember? But racially ambiguous and genderly ambiguous. Um. Well, there's these guys, and they started making this pretty cool new sound under the EDM, the dance music genre, and they called it trap. But here's the thing: there was already a trap going on, and there was traps going on in. I'm gonna sound so white. In the hood. Oh fuck. uh, but traps are houses where people do drugs and then in them. I think they are similar to Boca de Fumos in aqui no here on Rio de Janeiro. Those are where we buy drugs from, and sometimes we buy and then stay there and use there. I think a trap is more or less something similar to that. I'm not American. Again, I'm Brazilian. I live in Rio de Janeiro. To be more specific, I live in the state of Niterói. So there you go. Well, anyway, this microphone is really good. Fine Chinese. This microphone is Chinese. Look at the diversity in this channel. You like this? You want to be even more diverse? You want to be even more diverse? I'm gonna flash a book, and a lot of people will say crazy shit. What is that book about? What is that? It's really good. Go read it. I'm not gonna say what it's about, but it's not what you think it is about. But go read it. And you know what? I'm gonna flash another book. I'm gonna flash another book I'm gonna have to censor. Holy fucking shit! Yeah, go read these two, Mouse and Ring Shout. Both amazing. Fucking. One is biographical, and the other is alternative dystopia. That's all I'm gonna say. Go read those books; they're awesome. But anyway, going back to PHONK. Well, during like classrooms, okay, let's go to Miami. No, we were talking about trap. Holy fucking shit, I'm terrible at this. Trap music. Well, Ti started making music and calling it trap music, and then Gucci Mane came in and he said "burr" once, and everybody said yes, and everybody liked it. And then Lil Wayne started rapping over some beats that kind of sounded like trap beats, and then it got huge on SoundCloud, and then trap music, and trap music. I know trap music. I love trap music. I owe my entire career to some fucking rich Swedish kids. So like, come on, we all know what trap music is. And then like there's fucking drill from Chicago, and fucking New York drill is huge on Brazil now. I had a friend that was like a producer of New York drill beats and was rapping over them, and I was like, "What? We're into drill now? Okay." But anyway, in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, funk is controversial. It's gotten commodified by fucking TikTok, and a little fucking guy. I'll name him in the end of the video. I love white hair. I mean, I'm not associated. But anyway, it got very commodified by Spotify and mixed in with funk. Funk and funk are two different beans. And I know that there is this really small connection because Miami bass, Space Ghost Perp from Miami was really into Miami bass. That is an inspiration to funk. But it isn't at the same time. It's more about the lyricism for Space Ghost Perp. The just vibes, the sax, that type of stuff. That's the shit that Space Ghost Spirit was doing. Trill funk, trill wave, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, Space Ghost Spirit did that sound. It evolved, and it turned into drift funk. Got very fucking. Well, I talked about the correlation of funk and phonk, but I need to talk about the correlation between funk and funk, because well, we can't call it funk. We can't call it funk. There is already a funk. Have you heard of Parliament Funkadelic? Have you heard of Bootsy Collins? Have you heard of Sly and the Family Stone? Have you heard of fucking I got to say they're saying freaky. She's a freak. She's a super freak. Super freak. Fuck, I forgot his name. But anyway, there's already a funk. Well, I told you the story of fucking trap music and trap music. How are they categorized? Trap, brackets, EDM, and trap. The most popular one gets the term. There you go. So in this case, we would have to call funk, because funk is funk still, people still make funk music, so I'll say that funk is very popular. But funk brackets BR or Brazil. There you go. And yes, there was Brazilian funk artists. I owe my life to this man. His name is Tim Maia. He is my favorite soul artist. Lyrically amazing. His story is amazing. Great discography with a huge variety. Very fucking heart-wrenching lyrics. Just beautiful shit. Some of the best disco music you'll ever hear. Some of the best funk music you'll ever hear. Tin Maya did that shit. Listen to him. And also, Miraya is Tin Maya, okay? From fucking, I opened the portal to a favela in Brazil and I need to close it. That's the guy. Plot twist. But anyway, he made some funk music. There was funk music going on in Brazil, real funk music going on in Brazil. But here's the thing, it wasn't as popular as or funk music or definition of that. So we we didn't make the distinction much. So we didn't really care. But here's the thing, when it comes to this globalization of the sound, I really fucking care, because funk is so completely separate from what we're doing right now. There's so many versions of funk music that is happening in Brazil. Hold on, my parents have arrived, so I'm gonna mute. 1, 2, 3, and. So as you heard before, there's like that super distorted sound. I think that originated in São Paulo. Then there is the more favela-oriented sound from like Rio de Janeiro, and then there is a more melodic sound. I'll flash the names on the screen so you know. There's a lot of variety in this sound. It is a proper genre, and I don't think we should categorize it with another proper genre. I think that is fucking absurd to do. And I think that ignorant ass TikTok white crackers will continue to do this thing because they heard one song by one guy, they called it funk. Fucking stop, okay? That's the crux of the biscuit, okay? That's the crux of the entire video. Don't call it that. That's different. I'm pretty sure Space Ghost Perp, the originator of that word, not the originator of the word. I think he knows who originated the word because it's a slang in Miami. That guy fucking can talk about this. Ask him what he thinks of us just uniting the two. I don't think we should. Should we? I don't know. They're so different. They're very, 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 very different. Same way that the other funk is different. The three boys are very different from each other, and there are three proper genres. But just like all other genres, it just fucking sort of happens. Music is beautiful, isn't it? It's a language. Some people get it, some people don't. And shit like or type of music can go on TikTok and people go like, this is crazy. And then they read the lyrics and they go like, oh. It's always like that. And then a bunch of white people listen to it and they say, I want to make that. And then they make that. And then sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's like fucking, you know, that Arthur image, you know, it's just like that for me. It's like skin of skin a cracker alive type shit. This is I bring this book up for a reason too. Okay, but I'm not gonna get too racial in this video. This is about music, either way. But it is very racial because it originated with black people. Both funks, all the funks originated with this, and it's important. Make the distinction, okay? It's black music. Be respectful. Be's respectful, as Bubs would say. But anyway, I feel like I hit the hammer right in the head, pretty much. I have a lot of other rant ideas. I'm gonna edit this down on DaVinci Resolve. I never used DaVinci Resolve, so might take some time. But this is my first rant. I'm posting it on my music channel. I don't care. Have some fun. Listen to some of my music, please. It's pretty good. And I have a EP coming out. I'm calling it Digital Scars. It is again experimental hip hop, and it has some rage songs in there if you want to hear that. My lyrics, again, I owe my entire career to a bunch of Swedish kids, a bunch of rich Swedish kids. So the lyricism, you can expect it to be a little more, different, and I listen to all types of music. I wanted to like talk more about this, but right now my brain is just fucking off. I just want to put this out there. I just want to say, stop calling it funk. I have been Yamari, all Yamari, 22 years old, a she, her, and thanks for watching. Fuck Romulus. I feel like that was pretty good. Complicated. But let's do this. Let's edit this video, okay? I'm gonna go to my computer now, stop recording, take off my wig, and we'll see what we got, man. If any problems happened during the recording, I accidentally muted or was like too low volume, you know what I'll do? I will use the camera audio, as always. Let me take off this fucking stupid ass jacket. Let me take off this stupid ass hat. You know? I'm feeling like Beyonce. My wig is wigging. Well, let's go. Let me take off my wig. I feel so empty when I take it off. And let me put it in the correct rest. Tá. Eu comi uma maçã e café. Já vou. Espera um pouco.